Oh, I'd love to be an Oscar Mayer wiener. That is what I'd truly like to be. 'Cause if I were an Oscar Mayer wiener, everyone would be in love with me.
Oh, I'm glad I'm not an Oscar Mayer wiener. That is what I never want to be. 'Cause if I were an Oscar Mayer wiener, there would soon be nothing left of me.
The fuck off the neighbor's roof! Get down, Billy Earl! Man, he always doing dumb shit. Billy Earl, get off the fucking roof! I'm gonna get closer so y'all can finally see how the fuck he be doing this shit. Billy Earl! Man, what the fuck is on that roof to where he keep going up there?
Whew. This is a Widow Jane 10-year bourbon, and I've never had it before. It is quite stout.
Did you get it for Christmas?
No, I found it at a liquor store that I don't normally frequent. And I was like, oh, I haven't seen that one before. I'm gonna give that a shot.
I did bring it. I got a bottle from Old Wayne for Christmas. It's a Florida bourbon, which apparently I used to think that bourbon was like champagne, like it had to come from Kentucky to be considered bourbon. But I guess legally the only requirement is it has to be aged for like 2 years, you know, like in charcoal legally. But I assumed that it had to be from Kentucky, but apparently it's not the case.
Doesn't come from bourbon, Kentucky. It's just sparkling whiskey.
It's just flat whiskey. But it's not bad. But same thing, dude. It's man, it's got quite a bite to it. But now I'm like 1.5 of them in, so it's
Biting a little less hard.
Exactly.
I'm drinking tap water filtered through a Brita filter with a splash of ice.
You got a well, Jay, or you got like city water?
We have city water, but we also have septic out here. It's really weird. Like we're in Ag County, and you know I'm out in the sticks, but we have city water all the way out here.
Yeah, that's crazy. I
guess they do it for all the irrigation for the farms.
Yeah, you know, I'm also used to like us being like here. It's like it's pretty easy to get water out of the ground. But like I was talking to a family member who's from Colorado, and he's like, yeah, we had a 900-foot well because that's how deep it had to be to hit water. And it was like they had to have like a cistern or a tank almost like a water tower because they can only pump like a half a gallon an hour or something like something insanely minuscule because of that distance it had to travel.
Well, they call Tennessee
the backyard and dig a hole. So
they call Tennessee Rocky Top for a reason. So like drilling is kind of tough here.
Yeah. It's again, we're usually blessed here because of the sand. When I was talking to our well guy, he's like, yeah, every now and then they hit something. I guess they said they call it shale or something like that. And it's a real bitch, but otherwise it's pretty easy. I heard that Rocky Top, because I drove through it, is like it's a real city, but it's not a real city. Like they invented it because of the song.
The John Denver song.
Is it John Denver?
No, he didn't do it originally. He covered
Top?
it. It was the Osmond brothers originally.
Okay. But yeah, I guess because of that song, like, oh, we better name a town Rocky Top. So something.
They're really singing about Knoxville.
Oh, it's pretty close to Rocky Top.
And the mountains, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, dog
Rocky
stuff.
Top, Tennessee.
So remember that dog that had showed up that we just randomly showed up one day? We ended up finding an owner for him or someone to adopt him.
Oh, nice.
They named him Mark.
He kind of looks like Mark.
I told my buddy that. He's like, oh, I got a cat named Kevin.
I mean, he is pretty white. First, I'm like, oh, he's not a redhead. But I'm like, oh, no, wait, he's white. That's Mark. White might be the...
Both have a wet nose and
Mark
everything.
might be the whitest guy I know.
Very, very close to it anyway.
Next to that old black friend I had, he might have been the whitest guy I knew.
Then Trey's just translucent.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody has that one black friend that's like the whitest dude you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And one of my buddies growing up, from we were in kindergarten together. It's a big black dude. Used to have an afro. He bear hunts, fishes, does all that stuff.
Hell yeah.
Shout out Darnell.
Darnell, fuck yeah. Billy Earl.
So when I was in college, I was setting up like the scout team to play against the women at practice and stuff. And most of the guys that I picked up to play with us were guys that I either played with or against in high school, like that I knew personally. But there was one dude that somebody recommended. They were like, "Oh, he would be really good for your team. You should give him a call." So they gave me his phone number and I called him. And before he showed up for practice, the only interaction that I ever had with this dude was talking on the phone. So whenever he shows up, like, I'm expecting a white guy, right? Like, just from his voice and our conversations, I'm expecting a white dude, a country ass white dude. And this little short black guy walks in and I'm like, "Can I help you? Who are you?" And he was like, "I'm here for practice. I'm Arsenio." I was like, "Oh, God, that makes sense."
Arsenio. Well, that's
Nice.
a giveaway.
I should have known, but I just heard I just had his voice to go off of. Sounded like a white guy.
We're talking
Yeah,
about. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just going to be like, we were talking about Arsenio Hall the other day because we were talking about how funny the first Coming to America movie was, and then how terrible the second one was.
Never saw the second one, but I was saying the other day, it's been a while since I've watched the first one. Hush dogs. It being the holidays, was thinking about watching it again, or Coming to America. No, Coming to America, that's what you said. I was thinking
Trading Places. That's a good one too.
Yeah, gosh, I haven't seen Coming to America in a really long time.
The royal penis is clean, Your Highness.
Thank you, King shit.
Oh, that's right. You
Word of
did
mouth,
sample that
my
in Ludacris.
Yeah, one of my favorite albums.
That's a great album.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Was that one Chicken and
Word
Beer?
of mouth. No,
That
that's
was Word of Mouth. Okay.
Yep.
Word of Mouth.
Mouth. Yep. That and Chicken and Beer. Fucking great.
Yeah.
Fucking great.
Did you guys have a good Christmas?
Oh, fuck, dude. There's a lot of running around. This afternoon was the first time I really got to, like, chill out in like a week.
Nice.
Yeah. Tomorrow will be
Visit all the family.
Tomorrow will be my chill out day. Katie's going back to her mom's after her party tonight and gonna hang out with her boyfriend tomorrow. And Sean doesn't have to work tomorrow, so it'll be the first day of break that I haven't had to leave the house and just like spend most of my day running dumb kids around.
Going to the farmer's market tomorrow for the first time all year, or all season, I guess, since fall. I've just been busy with work, and poor farmer's market manager calls me like every week. He's like, you come in. I think he thinks like I've left him for another market, so I don't really even have anything to sell, but I'm just going to go and hang out, maybe give out some flyers, and I'm not even going to bring a tent to set up or anything. It's supposed to be nice.
So you might run
easy.
Might get lucky and run into your favorite customer, the one that's like, am I okay that I ate the whole chicken?
Oh, Richard Simmons?
Yeah.
You talking about that? Oh man, I might. We'll see. If nothing else, that is a plus too. Hopefully, see some of my regulars. Let them know I'm still alive. I've just been selling shit out of the markets.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Markets are fun, but they're exhausting. It's a lot of peopling.
I was gonna say, not if you ask Steve. He hates going to the markets.
Well, it's weird because it's like, double-edged sword or yin and yang or whatever. Like I get some social time, which I enjoy. I get to see my regulars. I get to talk to people. I like talking to people. I like talking about farming. I like talking about things I do, especially when there's interested parties who ask questions. You know what I mean? Like that's really fun to me. But yeah, after 4 hours of that, I am done.
Not my socialization quota.
Yep. As the introverts say, my battery is drained.
Where is Steve tonight? His only real problem with the markets is he gets like irrationally mad about some like lesbian with a mask on trying to give him a rainbow cookie or something. Like,
he takes it as a slight.
Dude, just eat the fucking cookie. It's just a cookie. It's not gonna make you gay. Just eat the cookie.
Steve, it's like, oh, you've made a powerful enemy today, lady.
Yeah. You just made the list. You got a Nixon style enemy list. I don't like to diagnose people or whatever. But I really think Steve might have Asperger's.
And stuff, so we're gonna go with that.
Oh, shit. Yeah. No, I like Steve. He's a trip, but yeah, he's something. That's for sure. He's both like the biggest asshole I know and the sweetest guy.
Yeah.
You know. So, anytime I start to think he's an asshole, he does something that's really sweet. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I still love you, Steve. He's a good friend.
Just when I thought you'd go and totally redeem yourself.
Yep. So, okay, I got something we could talk about. So one of the Christmas movies, the wife wanted to watch Die Hard. Might have watched it last year or the year before. I hadn't seen it a ton in the past. So we watched Die Hard the other night. Or I think I fell asleep in the middle of it, but seen it before. And then and Die Hard, first Die Hard, good movie. All right, fine movie. 80s, 90s action movie, fine movie. We watched the third one with A Vengeance with Samuel L. Jackson the other night.
Oh,
I thought that was pretty good. The sandwich board, exactly. Yeah. I'd seen it before a long time ago, but of course that scene is hilarious. Good movie, still goofy action movie, whatever. Then today I watched the second one, Die Hard 2. And that one is ridiculous, like retarded. It's still whatever, an action movie, but it's more of a caricature of an action movie, You
didn't like him shooting a rocket at the airplane? That was the second one, right? At the airport?
Did he shoot a rocket at it? It's
been a while since
he shot a cable that then went and hit a helicopter. He tried to flag down an airplane because it was all snowy. Yeah, it was at the airport. That probably would have been the closest one, but I do not remember a rocket.
Maybe it was just shooting at the helicopter thing. Maybe that's what it was. It's been like 20 years since I've seen that one.
Yeah, he shot a cable with a pistol from 50 yards, and then he shot a guy on a snowmobile moving with a pistol at like 70 yards. So good. That always gets me with the pistols in the TV and the movies, because like I feel like people who write that shit have never shot a pistol, because like you watch TV and movies and pistols look easy to shoot, and then like if you don't have a lot of experience shooting pistols, especially automatic pistols, you're like you unload a clip and you're like, I'm sorry, magazine, and you're like, there's not even any holes in that paper. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I swear I thought I hit it. Like you got to focus with a pistol, like especially until you get good at it. And that's what always bugged me about shit like Walking Dead is, you got these dudes taking headshots and moving zombies, and they're obviously new to guns, whatever. I was just a nurse or whatever, always bugged the shit out of me.
I'm trying to find it. There's a thing that's like a trilogy meter. It's how trilogies rank. And usually it's like the first movie is really good, the second movie is complete dog shit, and then the third movie is either better than the first two, or it's so bad that it's like, okay, put a bullet in this fucking thing's head. It's a good thing that it's only a trilogy and it's over with. Like that tends to be the way they go. I
could apply that to Die Hard.
Star Wars is the exception.
The third one's better than the first.
I think Empire is the best.
Yeah, Star Wars doesn't really have a bad one in the original trilogy. We'll go with in the original trilogy.
I'm trying to think, what other trilogies are there?
I mean, aside from horror movies that have like 17.
I found a chart, but this is some like slightly obscure movies. I didn't even know there were 3 Dumb and Dumber movies.
Yeah.
Yes, there are.
One of them's a prequel. When Harry met Lloyd.
Yeah, when they're in like high school.
This right here, I take offense to the Jackass movie, because all of these are 10s across the board. 1, 2, 3, the new one, 4, all of them. They're just straight 10s across the board.
They made 3 triple X's.
One of them had Ice Cube in it.
That was the second one.
Well, they did another one where Vin Diesel came back.
Oh.
Vin Diesel came back.
In black.
There were 3 butterflies.
The ring.
And no way.
There was a third Ace Ventura. That's when he was a kid.
There was a third Ace Ventura?
Yeah.
What do you think of the Hangover movies? Like,
They got worse.
I
They
didn't
started
think
off.
any of them were good, but I didn't think they were.
The first one's the best one.
I didn't
and they
think
just
any
get
of them
only
were
one I've
progressively
seen.
worse.
Austin Powers, is that on there?
Yeah,
First-
the third one's the weakest of the two.
Yeah, third one's awful. I think I'll go ahead and I'll put them on blast because I've had a couple drinks. The Fadcast guys, the Timeline Earth guys. Bird, he said that they get he's like, oh yeah, they get better as they go. The Austin Powers movies, and I haven't really listened to the show since. I kind of I was like, oh man, that's a horrible opinion.
I fundamentally disagree with you, sir. The RoboCop 3 on there is definitely the worst, but it's also kind of the most fun to watch because it's so silly.
I probably haven't seen it.
It's been forever. I think some little girl hacks an Ed 209 and has it as a pet. And there's like that's the one with the jetpack in it. I don't know. Yeah, that's the one RoboCop uses as a jetpack to fly.
Horrible movie with a jetpack. Jingle All the Way.
Horribly good.
Did you like Jingle All the Way?
I like it. It's silly.
I was napping on the couch the other day and
Jingle All the Way was a great Christmas movie.
Jamie, I'm Turbo Man.
Sinbad. I saw the second half, but it was pretty silly. It was pretty silly. But
Sinbad
in
was
fairness,
funny.
not much
Right.
more silly, if any more silly than True Lies.
Yeah, True Lies is a great action movie though,
Go away.
So silly.
and it's got Tia Carrera in it. God, she was so hot.
You wash that out and bring it back to me. Okay. All right.
It's got
go
the
away.
great one-liner towards the end when the guy's attached to the missile, and he's like, "You're fired." And he shoots him into the building.
Fuck, I wish I could remember just one of them from Die Hard 2 today. The one-liners, after something happens. So ridiculous.
So, have you watched any of the other Die Hard movies that came out after Die Hard with a Vengeance?
Fourth one
You can-
is okay. The fifth one's garbage.
Yeah, I was
Live
gonna
Free or
say-
Die Hard, and then we looked them up last night, but we
Die Hard with a Vengeance was the
Live
third
Free or
one.
Die Hard is the third
And,
one.
yeah,
then Live
the
Free
third
or
one,
Die
sorry,
Hard is
fourth
the
one.
fourth, and
Yeah.
then the
and another one.
fifth. Yeah, there's the fifth one, but I don't remember what it was. Some other ridiculous title.
Yeah.
The
We were
fifth
gonna
one's when
take
they're
that
in
leap,
Russia.
but- Oh, okay. We just haven't done it yet. Figure may as well finish them out.
Yeah, the fourth one's got well, I don't want to ruin it for you. There's a ridiculous scene at the end, which
I'm sure
you can
there is.
imagine it's Die Hard.
Yeah. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there will be a couple scenes I'll be like, oh, come on. I can
Yeah.
deal with the rest of this, but it doesn't have to be like this. Jump from one airplane to the other or something. Like, no, come on. That happens in way too many movies.
Who's the goofy kid from Dodgeball? That was the cheerleader. He's in it. He's like a
Justin
computer
Long.
hacker. Yeah.
Get
in the
out.
fourth one.
All right, here you go.
Oh, it's a different one. An easier one to read, anyhow.
See if
Okay.
see if we agree with these.
Indiana Jones 3 is as good, if not better, than Raiders, in my opinion, personally. Because I like Sean Connery, and I think they had a lot of chemistry, father and son, in that movie.
Yeah, I would agree.
Superman, yeah, the third one had who's the comedian?
Well, and then the fourth one may as well. I mean, they
Oh,
did
the-
they did
the
good to leave the fourth one off the list because it was.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's like Alien as well. Although I think people are a little bit too hard on Alien 3. Resurrection is just like abysmal. I don't even own that. Like I've got the entire Alien collection except for Resurrection.
Richard Pryor, that's who it
I
was.
refuse to even finish the collection. That's fair.
Yeah, Richard Pryor was the villain in the third Superman.
Oh, that's right.
I couldn't remember his
Really?
name, so I had to look up Brewster's Millions. I was like, oh, that's his name.
That's hilarious that he would be like a bad guy.
I think
let's
they're-
see.
I think they give Thunderdome a little too much credit on Mad Max because it was
Yeah,
Road
those-
Warrior, and then it's
that-
Mad Max, and then it's Thunder. Or it
Thunderdome's the worst.
was Mad
like
Max,
it.
and then it was
Through
Road Warrior,
Thunderdome.
and then it was Thunderdome. Yeah, Thunderdome is by far the worst.
The only
Jaws
thing I
3
like
should
about
be up there
Thunderdome,
higher. Isn't that the 3D one?
they like to do that. They don't have the Harold and Kumar trilogy on here. What the fuck?
Dude, I hated that they didn't bring back Christopher Maloney for the third one because he always played like a weird character in the Harold and Kumar movies. Like he was
That
the
was
weird tow truck driver with all the
Freak Show?
boils.
Oh yeah, dude, Freak Show's the best, dude.
And then in the
so funny,
second
that
one,
whole
he was the
scene.
Grand Wizard of the KKK.
Oh really?
Yeah, there you go. He's like, all y'all come gather around the campfire. Let's talk about how we hated on some minorities today.
You ever try farming not high? It's boring as shit.
Dag took that character and turned his entire career made his entire career out of that.
You guys get high, but you're farmers. Yeah. You ever try farming not high?
So the Star Treks. I'm assuming that's the original series cast.
Well, I mean, or you could do the new ones because
Well, in that case, like the second and third one are trash. I like the first one though of the new ones. But the rule with the old Star Trek movies is only the even number ones are good.
and of the new ones, I didn't think the second one was terrible, but the third one was absolutely garbage. Like
The con twist, I don't know. I'm just bitter, and
I like the way they.
I don't like change,
I like
Justin.
The way they incorporate Leonard Nimoy into them.
Yeah. What was that other thing on the Rambo? Rambo 3 was just CIA propaganda. I don't know if you guys, because it took place in Afghanistan, and at the end of the movie, they had like a credit that said, "We'd like to thank the brave Mujahideen."
That's all I know about that movie. But yeah,
Oh, wow.
thank the brave Mujahideen fighters. Yeah.
Okay, so then Terminator was down in the corner on that one, and it's like obviously
Three's
the
not-
first Terminator was good, and then
I liked
Judgment Day is peak, and then 3 wasn't. I didn't think 3 was terrible. It was just a different twist, and it wasn't great.
That was the one with the chick, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Third Terminator. Yeah.
Yeah, they we played John Connor. Was that it wasn't Claire Danes? Was she the chick?
Claire Danes was his wife, and the Terminator and Arnold was sent back to save her because John has died in the future.
Uh,
So John thinks that the Terminator's there for him to save him, but they're not worried about him. He's already dead in the future. They're here for her. That was the big twist on that one. Which I understand why that would maybe make people be like, "Oh, this is terrible." Like, I mean, I thought it was an interesting change of pace.
Looking back with hindsight, 3 is a hell of a lot better than everything that came out after that, except for the Christian Bale one. That one was okay.
Hang on, let me grab the. I have the entire box set.
I don't even remember the name of that one. I know the last two have been pretty terrible. Like, I think the last one was when they tried to do a girl power Terminator.
It wasn't awful. It just wasn't great. All right,
They
so
shoot John in the face 2 seconds into the movie.
we've got Salvation.
That's the one I'm thinking of with Bale, right?
Yeah. And then Terminator Genesis, which was the one that had
Trash.
what's her name that plays Daenerys Targaryen?
Yeah.
That one was absolute complete garbage. And then
What was everyone's beef with her boobs?
Nothing.
I heard people talk a lot of shit about her boobs during Lord
I
of
have
the Rings.
absolutely no beef with her boobs. That was the
Yeah, she showed him off on the first
That was-
episode
yeah,
of
that
Game
was-
of Thrones.
best part of the season
Yeah,
1
it's-
of Game of Thrones was her boobs. Like,
Yeah, I heard people were like giving her shit about it. And then I watched Game of Thrones. I was like, oh, there's nothing wrong with
John,
her
what do
boobs.
you think of season 1?
Those people are gay.
Nah, the best season ever. I
People on the internet always got bitching
season
about
1
shit.
of True Detective? What'd you think about that?
don't know. Episode 2 was pretty nice.
God, the fact you got a timestamp on that too, since you're not allowed to screenshot and save them anymore.
Back in the day when there was VHSs, that part of the tape would be worn out from rewinding.
Oh shit!
Hey, what's up, Lyle?
Here we go. I got you a.
Hobbs and Vagine.
All right, I got you a trilogy. Since it's pretty fresh in Sean's mind, the new Planet of the Apes trilogy, Rise and War and oh shit, what was the third one?
Denied, depose.
No,
Eyes were.
'Cause the one that just came out recently was the fourth one, right? In that series.
Let's see. So it was Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and War for the Planet of the Apes. And then the one that just came out was Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Supposedly, this Kingdom is going to set up a new trilogy that's set like several hundred years in the future. And I liked it. I mean, I think Sean liked it too. I thought
it was great.
Yeah.
Have you seen the direction they're going with the Jurassic Park movies?
No, I've watched Jurassic World. Did we watch the second Jurassic World movie?
That's the one where they're auctioning them off.
I see. Crichton only did 2 books, and the second movie did not do the second.
Oh, it's a completely different story.
Right. And then when they made a third one, I saw the third movie and I was like, this is just garbage. And I kind of checked out. Like I watched.
They're getting crazy. It's like, oh, now there's just dinosaurs in the ocean.
Well, the
That's
newest
the world now.
The newest one basically was like, climate change, people bad is kind of what it turned into. But now they're working on a 7th one, which is like a soft reboot starring Scarlett Johansson. And some of the pictures I've seen, there was the script that came out like years ago, like 20 years ago for Jurassic Park 4.
Look at his face.
And they were going to have human dinosaur hybrids. So I saw a picture of Scarlett Johansson with like lizard scales. So I'm like, oh, if they're going to do that script that they've like canceled 20 times.
Let's see if we got anything.
But so while the apes control the outer side, and then the lizards all go back to
into the Hollow Earth, right?
Hollow Earth, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Like
how that
Godzilla.
works. Yeah.
Oh, is this?
Have you seen the so there's like the Kong movies and then the Godzilla movies that are apparently all in like the same universe, and I
like them.
sat down one day to watch one of them. It was one of the Godzillas, and there's all kinds of shit going on, and I'm like, holy fuck!
So CGI fest, yeah.
I'm like, why did no, like story wise, there's
Yeah, dude, yeah.
I'm like, wait, I thought I was just gonna watch like a fucking Godzilla movie.
The
There's
Hollow
like-
Earth stuff.
There's
Yeah.
all this like Hollow Earth shit, and we got King Kong, and we got all these other characters, and like there's humans and all kinds of. I'm like, I just wanted to watch Godzilla fucking nuke New York City or something. So then I have to go back and like watch 3 other movies so that I know what the fuck's going on in this movie.
Yeah.
When
We
did King Kong and Godzilla become such an involved story? Like, what the hell?
Yeah. They actually just what's the newest one that came out? We just watched that one, Kong and Godzilla versus like
Where
an
he got
evil
the
monkey.
Power fist?
Yeah. He's got the Nintendo Power Glove.
Hell yeah! Oh god, what was that called?
Yeah, we just watched it last night.
Godzilla Kong King of the Monsters or something like that.
And then Godzilla -1 is really good too.
I've
Let me
heard
see.
really good things about that, but I haven't
Well,
watched it.
It's different. Like usually you're watching a Godzilla movie for Godzilla. Like Godzilla is just part of it. The story is about this Japanese pilot that deserted during World War II. And he's dealing with the guilt because like the nukes get dropped on Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And like he's just trying, I don't want to spoil too much, but it's actually a pretty interesting story of this guy like stranded, like trying to, get back his honor.
There's a Godzilla anime trilogy that is supposedly like really, really good.
I remember the Hanna-Barbera cartoon that had Godzuki, Godzilla's son. You remember that?
I remember Baby Godzilla, right? Wasn't there a Godzilla movie where he had a baby?
All right, I gotta bring this up.
Blow fire. What was the deal with the Nintendo Power Glove? Like for real? Like I never understood that. Was there like a specific game that they had on Nintendo that was advantageous, or was it just a fucking controller on your arm?
It was a controller on your arm, and it was supposed to work, but it didn't really work at all. They used it as an advert. They used that movie, The Wizard, with the Fred Savage kid from Wonder Years. Basically, used that movie as like a 2-hour commercial for that Power Glove.
It just never made sense to me. Like it looks cumbersome. Like then you're just using the controller with like one hand. But it was, the 80s or early 90s, stuff like that seemed technologically cool. Like, you ever just like on computers, like in the 80s, computers they were smarter than 10 times our best computer today. You could have your home PC and you could just type in, ask it a question and it just answer you. It was like amazing AI and fucking strange, weird science. They built a woman by telling the computer what, to do that. Even Ferris Bueller's Day Off, that level of hacking, it really made it look like you could do anything with a computer back then.
Here, throw this up. This is what I'm talking about.
Up from the depths, 30 stories high, breathing fire, is headed in the sky. Godzilla, 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 and
I do not think I remember that.
This was the one that I remember. It came out after the Matthew Broderick Godzilla.
The newer one
movie.
Yeah.
The story was actually compelling in this cartoon series. It wasn't terrible. They were like traveling the globe looking for other like mythical monsters and stuff. Like there was one where they go, they're looking for the Loch Ness monster, and like somehow Godzilla has become their friend, and he can communicate with Matthew Broderick's character. And I don't know, it's weird. I mean, it was good at the time, but also yes, weird.
Hey, remember when Matthew Broderick killed a guy drunk driving and got away with it?
No, nobody remembers that.
In Ireland.
Oh, it happened in Ireland?
Yeah.
Wow.
That probably happens often enough in Ireland that they kind of weigh like.
You got to be able to blow over.
Yeah.
Don't you have to blow over a certain amount to drive in Ireland?
Right. Like,
I feel like Irish people are more resilient to getting hit by cars out of necessity.
I mean, they don't call it Irish car bomb for nothing.
I mean, they're stocky. They got a lower center of gravity, probably more advantageous being hit by a car. Yeah.
I don't know. Small, skinny people tend to bounce off of cars pretty well, like with minimal damage done. At least the
drunk
ones that I've seen
are probably the more you survive.
They
like
usually like
car
roll
accident.
up on. They usually just like the small, skinny ones. Usually just like roll up on the hood and then they're fine. Like a lot of times they even land on their feet,
like a cow or a deer.
A
deer is a better example.
Say a cat. Cats land on their feet. From Ferris Bueller.
Yeah. It was a nice car. He just rubs it with a diaper. Hey, relax. I'm a professional. Professional what? I haven't seen that shit in forever.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah. I probably know just about every line from it. I wonder if there's an easy list of celebrities who have killed people, running them over. Yeah, because Jose, not even just murdering people, running them over. Because I think Laura Bush, Matthew Broderick,
Bruce Jenner. I mean, Caitlyn.
Yeah, that person. Halle Berry, right?
Did she really? I didn't know she was so cool.
There's a celebrity.
Here we go. Celebrities who have killed someone while driving. Oh, this is just some legal bullshit. It's not actually a list. I don't need legal consultation on how to get away with running somebody over with my car. I just want to know what celebrities actually
yet. You don't need it yet.
Medrano Law. Fuck off.
All right, I've got a list of celebrities who have killed someone. Looks like we also have celebrities who have killed someone by driving. So we can start with the driving one. This is a topic. Let's see here. Killed someone while driving.
Oh, Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney? Shut the fuck up.
In 1968, the Republican was driving the mission's president and 4 others in a car, only meant to hold 5 people when the vehicle was hit head on. Oh.
So he was driving while there was an accident.
Yeah, he didn't necessarily hit somebody.
Now, Now, if it
So
was
he's no
a bunch of
Ted Kennedy.
politicians, if it was a bunch of politicians or something, it might have been totally their fault. They just covered it up to make it look like the poor other person.
I think one of the most
you know what I
stone
mean?
cold dick move like that was when Ted Kennedy was drunk driving, crashed his car into like a lake or something, and then like did he like leave his wife there and put her in the driver's seat or something, and then fled the scene?
I don't know.
Dude, that dude had some wild stuff.
Let's see. Laura Bush ran a stop sign and hit somebody. Dante Stallworth ran over somebody in a street in Miami.
Santa Claus ran over grandma.
There's on for accidents, obviously. Dude, have you guys seen any of the was it Gary Busey videos of late?
Yeah.
Of him like driving, like apparently he's hitting people all the time, and he's like, I mean, Gary Busey's always been like terrifying, right? But like I guess he's rough. All right, celebrities who have killed someone. Well, Don King, you guys know that story. He like beat somebody to death before he was Don King, right?
Back when gangsters were.
I don't know who Don King is.
Big Crazy Air used to be a boxing promoter.
Yeah. Let's see. He shot Hillary Garrett in the back in 1954 while he was trying to rob one of King's gambling houses, and then
I mean, shooting a robber, that he gets what he deserves in that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. In 1966, he stomped Sam Garrett. I don't know if that's a relation to Hillary Garrett, to death because he owed him $600.
No, it's Bradley Garrett, the
That
brother
way.
from Ray Romano's show.
He went full on Stewie. You got my money?
Got money for fake mustaches, but don't got money to pay me. I don't know who William S. Burroughs is.
Sagawa killed somebody? Well, it's okay. He's a samurai.
Sagawa, I don't know who that is. Oh, I mean, let's see. Oh, fellow classmate, a beautiful woman. Oh, it says it's a murder though.
Mm.
No,
Speaking
like
of murder, C Murder, the rapper.
Yeah, see murder. Go figure. Well, good. I hope. I mean, otherwise he's a poser. Let's see. He 2002 he abused and shot a 16-year-old Steve Thomas to death. Hopefully abused doesn't mean sexually.
I forgot about Jason Williams. That was like a big deal when that happened. The basketball player, Justin?
Yeah, he was like starting center for the
Heat.
New Jersey Nets whenever that
Was
happened.
the Nets
Yeah.
Vince Neil? Huh.
A lot of athletes that have killed people.
Oh yeah. Wife's saying probably a lot of athletes that have killed people. Yeah, it's I mean, not OJ obviously, but
Oh no, he didn't
probably
do it.
lots of other ones. Yeah,
Ray
yeah,
Caruth.
Yeah, Hernandez. Yep. Dante Stallworth, that was a drunk driving, killed a pedestrian, ran somebody over.
Ray Lewis. I wonder if Ray Lewis is on the list.
Oh, he was found innocent. Well, who's the other guy? Was it Rod Caruth or Ray Caruth?
Ray Caruth, yeah. He
For
was
the
not
Panthers?
found innocent.
No.
Keith Moon accidentally, while drunk driving, ran over his friend and bodyguard and killed him. Vince Neil killed someone running him over. Oh, here's Ted Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, don't read the rest of this.
On the list. Howard Hughes, what did he do? Hit him with a fucking airplane?
Oh, his secretary drowned, or his deceased brother's secretary drowned. Ted Kennedy's when he went to the lake. Wow.
That's what it was. I had the story mixed up. I still think he like left his wife somewhere or something like that. I don't know.
Try to pin it on somebody else or something, maybe. So
Yeah.
he get a fucking murder charge. Yeah, ran over and killed a pedestrian.
Howard Hughes
Ran
is
over
the
and killed
guy
a pedestrian.
that
Jesus.
became a recluse and peed in bottles, right?
I think so. Wasn't he the aviator? The movie The Aviator? Was that
Yeah,
Howard Hughes? Yeah.
Then he died in a plane crash, right?
I don't know. I didn't actually watch. I watched a very small part of the movie where he was complaining that there's no clouds in the sky.
Ferris Bueller.
In 1963, yeah, she ran into another car and killed a friend, Laura Bush. It was at like a really fancy private school though, so you know whatever, it was one of her own kind. Let's see. Matthew Broderick. We talked about him. Robert Blake. That sounds familiar.
This list is inaccurate. How's OJ on here? He didn't do nothing.
Here's a fun Howard Hughes fact for you. When a Vegas hotel tried to kick him out, he bought the place.
Nice.
Pretty gangster.
That's boss. Yeah. You know what? I'm kicking you out.
That's some Bruce Wayne type of stuff.
Well, apparently Howard Stark, it was the basis for Howard Hughes was the basis for Howard Stark, who was Tony Stark's father.
Dad.
Marvel, yeah.
Makes sense. I totally get those vibes. I like the actors they had to play both of them, old and young Howard.
Yeah. The old Howard, my favorite thing that he's in is Mad Men. There's one where they're like on an airplane, and what is it? He says like, "Fuck," something about fucking Sacagawea. I can't remember now. I'll look it up.
Murder was the case that they gave me.
Yeah, I was surprised because I know, like, from
he was found innocent too.
Yeah, acquitted. Him and somebody else were acquitted. So, he had him not being on there. The Sid Vicious thing is a crazy story. That got me because because there's like the meme with like him and Martha, and it's like, check your premises. Only one of these is a convicted felon, and it's almost like, oh man, it's kind of hard, with everything Snoop Dogg and his music and everything, kind of hard to believe that he isn't. But then again, he is also like soccer bomb acceptable now, so maybe he gets away with it. But I remember there was a cop who was 10, 12 years ago. He was working off duty at a concert for like as a security, and he took a picture with Snoop Dogg and ended up getting fired for taking the picture with Snoop Dogg. And supposedly the justification was because of Snoop Dogg's marijuana-ness, And I was telling that to a friend, like, man, it's fucking crazy, huh? And he's like, what are you talking about? He had, the song, fuck the police and this and that. So, da, da, da. And I'm like, well, that wasn't even the reason. Like, that would have made more sense to me if they were like, no, we made songs about killing cops,
That was NWA.
Yeah, and he only guessed it with NWA. And that's what I said to my dude. I was like, he's not even in NWA,
He was on Death Row, though.
Yeah.
Death Row Records.
But yeah, I thought that was silly. And you know how I feel about cops. I'm not even...
Love them.
Yeah, I love them. Yeah, so, This guy?
Yeah.
Michael Massey's the guy who killed Brandon Lee in The Crow.
Oh, with the packing came out from the the blank.
Yeah, it was like a prop gun, but yeah, they didn't. I don't remember if they didn't have like a proper person on site or what at the time.
I think it was a blank, but I think it was the wad or whatever from the.
Yeah, blanks can be really dangerous. Still, so yeah, because you still get the wadding and stuff that comes out. In Die Hard 2, he shot a magazine full of blanks at a police captain in a police station, and nobody shot him, and there was no damage. I was like, that would hurt. Those blanks hurt. Oh,
what movie did I watch recently where a guy took? Oh, it was in. Hey, Lyle, we were watching it on Mary's stream. It was in Bruges when the guy tries to rob Colin Farrell and he's got blanks. So Colin Farrell just walks up to his head and puts it point blank and shoots him with the blank and puts his eye out. I recommend that movie if you guys have never seen it. It's like a really dark comedy. It takes place in Bruges.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it takes place over Christmas. Colin Farrell and who's that other guy that's in everything? They're like hitmen, and their boss Ray Fiennes, who played Voldemort in Harry Potter, he has them go lay low there for a while. And I don't want to spoil the rest of it, but it's got a midget in it, and it's hilarious.
Midget's good.
A midget on cocaine.
Well, naturally, any midget I've ever known did a lot of cocaine. It's not many midgets, but they did cocaine. Fatty Arbuckle charged for raping and killing actress Virginia Rapey.
She had it coming.
I pronounce her last name, but I mean,
it's cooked into the name.
She's asking for it. Come on,
right.
They added the P when they get the extra P when they got to this country because they were like, oh, you might not want that as a last name. Proven innocent, apparently. Oh,
Brandy
dude,
Mil-
get this. Okay.
Brandy. Wait, is that
Hold on.
okay?
I don't know. Hold on. We got to talk about this Varg Vinkers person first. I don't know who this is. I mean, it's actor, obviously, or camera and electrical department, known for burning churches. Okay, Norwegian black metal musician and writer, known for burning churches, being neo-Nazi, murdering a band called Mayhem's guitarist, Euronymous in August 10th, 1993, and planning a mass murder in 2013.
But dude, that's how those black metal guys get down up in Viking land. Like they kill each other like gangster rappers do.
And still put out music in 2014.
But yeah, they'll write like diss metal
He was
tracks.
in Gummo. I heard that's a weird movie.
So I guess Moesha killed somebody, huh?
Is that Brandy?
That's Brandy, yeah.
Driving. Oh, he's damn. If I don't get my Moesha, I get a little cranky.
Charles Dutton.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Charles Dutton. In 1968, convicted of manslaughter after stabbing a man in a street fight. Got 7 years in prison. Oh, he's in Alien 3.
Oh, that's Rock.
Okay.
It's a black family TV show that I would accidentally watch sometimes on UPN that came on after Star Trek because I didn't feel like changing the channel.
I thought you were saying that's the character's name in Alien 3. Leadbelly. I don't know who that is. Got 35 years in prison for murdering his relative. He was released after 2 years. Oh, that was 1918, though. It was a different time.
I remember John Landis caught a lot of flack for that when they were filming The Twilight Zone.
Sean, I muted you because you're bumping around a bunch and making noise.
I'm not trying to.
There's a helicopter accident?
Yep. So the Twilight Zone movie wasn't that
maybe
like
I
a
heard
couple
little something
stories
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But they're saying he killed somebody because of that.
He was negligent or something. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I heard a little something about that, but not the whole story. Charged with manslaughter, but got free.
Yeah.
Oh, Charles Manson. Okay, well that's who knows, but yeah, he was a composer or musician. Have you guys ever heard his music?
It's bad.
It's really bad.
What was
Maybe
the
we should play
conspiracy?
some.
What was the conspiracy theory that he wrote Beach Boy songs? Did you ever hear that one?
No. That's funny.
Here we go. I found I knew I would find it. I found the Mad Men quote. He says, "We're conquistadors. I'm Vasco da Gama, and you're some other Mexican. We're gonna land there, buy whatever they've got for the beads in our pockets. Our biggest challenge is to not get syphilis."
Oh,
Yeah,
the
that's-
autist in me wants to say Spanish so badly, but I know you were just joking.
That
Actually,
so
I don't think I sent it to the group. I think I only sent it to like a one or two other people.
so everyone talks.
Somebody said something on one of my posts the other day, and I said, "Please, for one day, just don't be quite so autistic."
you said it to them, or you said it to yourself?
No, I
before
said it to
replying?
them. Like I actually.
Okay. Should I type this response? No, don't be so autistic. That's that's what I say to myself every time I almost reply to something on social media before I remember why I don't do that.
Here you go. Oh, what to do with it? Yeah, there it is.
So everyone like complains, oh, the Europeans gave smallpox to the Indians or whatever. Didn't like syphilis come from North America? Like the first documented cases of it in Europe were from the Columbus guys that went back to Spain.
Not sure. The whole the blanket thing, like that was like way later. Really, like tons of, I mean, probably most of like the Native Americans on like North America died from like a disease, but it wasn't like intentionally spread. It was like, just like the first people came here and were like, hey, what's up? And then like went back and like 50 years later came back to the US and there was like nobody there. Yeah. The best they figure these days, it was like a hepatitis like A or something. But who knows? And,
What's the thing too? That's a great argument against mass immigration is they, other places, different immune systems, so they can carry diseases,
But just with travel, I mean, immigration though doesn't mean just people travel everywhere. So
True,
that's
fair enough.
You'd have to. I mean, if you want to be like, North Korea style isolationist.
Yep, I'm going to build a wall around Tennessee.
But I mean, you're right. It's not. That's a fact. I mean, I think that people also just even whites interbreeding with other whites from other places, like that kind of fucks with your like immunities and your DNA and shit like that. I think
all this miscegenating,
these white people, all these Irish miscegenating with these Germans. But like Mediterranean people versus like fucking Swedish people probably have different necessities, biologically. So I think there might be some of that, and then it's also like the I don't know, paradox is the right word, whatever you want to say. Like I love modern medical technology. I wouldn't be alive without it. But it has made us weaker as a species because, these people just wouldn't have lived and bred who have a lot of the, hereditary, problems.
And they would have been eaten by wolves.
Or, just died. I mean, I wouldn't have made it out of childhood, but because I could have kids and pass my genetic deformities, onto them and, cause problems, that typically I just wouldn't have been able to do that. So, a natural selection kind of takes a back seat at that point when we can just treat people's, horrible ailments, which is great, again, totally great, but there's downside, I guess, on a long enough timeline.
Who was that, Clyde?
Sounds like something Clyde would do. Yeah, there is actually when I like selling seeds. Like I don't even try to ship to other countries. It's like you have to have like you have to pay like $50 per shipment for like a phytosanitary like permit and this and that. And it's a
tell you
thing.
My mother.
Remember that time that Clyde kept trying to show us the hard patch of skin on his ass, and like, dude, you can't do that on fucking YouTube. Like, we already come close enough to getting strikes as it is, just with normal content. You're like, but it's like this little patch the size of a dime, and it's super hard. I'm like, I don't know why you've got a hard patch of skin on your ass, but we don't need to see that. Keep that shit to yourself. We used to have some fun. Katie and I were talking about it earlier today. Remember the episode where we all had our Klansman names? Like I was Supreme Dragon, and I don't remember.
I want to be a Cyclops.
Mark was Grand Wizard, and yeah, I think Dag was a Cyclops, and I can't remember what. Clyde was like an Inquisitor or something. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, we used to be so clever and have such a good show. What happened to us?
I don't know.
We all had our Indian names at one time.
Now we just like
Squaw
talk
episode.
We used to do like a whole bit, and now we just like talk about news stuff.
Well, it's like I think our characters have been so established at this point. We just are who we are.
All the lore's out there.
Yeah. I do. I've been thinking about it a lot. I'm like, man, I'd like to, step up production a little bit and do a little bit. I'm not talking about like you guys or like trying to tell Justin to do more work. I'm saying on my end, you know what I mean? Sometimes I'll think of like an intro and then I'm like, oh, yeah, time. I'm just busy and, whatever. And then
if you send me clips and stuff, I will get it made. You don't have to check in with me every 6 months. I will get it made. And like, tell Steve, calm down. You don't have to remind me about it every 4 or 5 weeks. Like, I'll get to it. Just
even like our Instagram messages and stuff. Sometimes, like, I send you stuff. Like, yeah, I think you'll think it's funny, but then I have it marked. I'm like, okay, we're in a lull in the show. I'll pull up Instagram and just pull up funny videos sometimes. You know what I mean? But I just go through our chats.
Man, I still find y'all by like searching Vasectomy Clubhouse on YouTube.
What do we need? Another like
search engine optimization.
Anytime I go on another show, like I'm do a guest spot on any other show, like if you want to find the morning after, you cannot search for the morning after because it won't show up. But if you type in Vasectomy Clubhouse, that will take you right to us every single time.
No, it'll take you to some weird doctor video from like India first, and then you get there.
What we got replaced by the weird Indian doctor.
I don't know. I saw it at one point, and I stopped looking up your show. I'm sure that got taken down by now, but
You got me thinking about Instagram now. I saw this one the other day. It cracked me up.
Trump or Kamala?
Excuse me, I'm on the phone.
Trump or Kamala?
That's all that was.
Here we go.
Smoking a bowl. I kind of expecting to have a needle
I thought it was a
hanging out his
crack
arm.
pipe. But yeah, it's a bowl.
It's us. We are the top result.
oh,
Nice.
congratulations.
I mean, I don't know what this is like
That's an ad, so that doesn't
right. That's an
count.
ad. That doesn't
Yeah.
count. We're the top result.
Post vasectomy testing. Are we supposed to be doing that?
No, you do that like for the first like month and
I'm
a
not
half.
worried about it.
After that,
I've heard that once in a blue moon they can reconnect, but I don't know.
okay. My brother-in-law. So Sean, the T family, they have 6, and he had 2 vasectomies, and neither of them took. Like I think.
Is
I
he
just
Wolverine?
want him to keep having more kids. I don't.
Right.
I mean, at some point you have to realize that God wants you to have more kids. You know, like
They've got 6. They should have stopped like 3 ago. And I mean, he tried. In his defense, he tried.
something like that happening is my nightmare, but apparently this is somebody else's nightmare.
Yeah, I'm still walking around loaded too, Mark.
Love this. I don't know why.
You're considered the most liberal United States senator.
Somebody said that, and it actually was Mike Pence on the debate stage.
Oh, cackles.
If I could get that as a ringtone, I would actually turn the ringer back on my phone.
Right?
It'd be the first time in a decade that my phone's made any noise deliberately.
It slaps.
It does, dude. It's good.
I like the
Yellow
bird
in there
call.
for whatever reason.
Kamala with the left. That's so funny.
So good.
I saw something that reminded me of. I was looking on Instagram and I saw like a racist joke, but it reminded me of this. You guys ever seen Judy Garland? You remember her? She was in The Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
This is a
Witch,
real movie.
right? That's her.
Wanna
Yep.
carry me home, swinging low.
All right, wait. Can we get to the good part?
Oh, is this the Pickaninny song?
Where the corn and potatoes used to grow, there's a great big elegant picture show. And
I've heard this, but I've never seen it.
Is a French chateau way down south in Dixie, swing low, sweet.
Feeling it.
I think we got something there. I'm sure we have.
So the whole premise behind the story of it is she didn't think that she would get cast if she went out for the audition as a white person. So she was pretending to be black and the most stereotypical shoe polish blackface.
Right. Minstrel. I'm sorry, minstrel.
Yeah. The old
How'd you
minstrel
spell
show.
Pickaninny? I can't see that video anymore. How's that spelled,
It's
Pickaninny?
spelled Picatinny.
P-I-C-I or P-I-C-K.
Oh, here we go. This is one Dax sent me earlier.
Yeah, ask E. She got first in the spelling contest. I got second.
It's true.
And a wise government rounded up the shifty-eyed Jap to I did my best. Anyway, I'm not afraid of him or any other squint-eyed.
What?
Oh, tempo. That's the kind of answer that fits the power of your skin. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's Batman. I was like, I couldn't remember which if it was Superman or Batman. Dude, the 40s were wild.
I-C-I.
Call out these weapons, you Jap murderer.
Oh, a Batman movie from the 40s? How come I've never heard of this?
Since a wise government rounded up the shifty-eyed Jap to
Did you? So, did you guys ever watch the Max Fleischer Superman cartoons? It's like the rotoscope animation where like they'll film somebody moving and then they'll just animate over it.
No, not
I'm
familiar.
gonna try to find the episode where he fights the Japanese guys because that one's hilarious.
I'll play this in the meantime. I think this is what I was thinking of.
And now, folks, I'm going to sing this next song for a lot of little colored kids who are listening in at an orphanage in New York City. Here you are, kids. Little pickaninny, listen to the tale of a place that I know. It's twice as high as the moon.
I think she died halfway recently, and people were protesting and doing like a statue or a memorial or something for her because of this. She was singing to the orphans. Obviously, in good nature.
Great big watermelon, roll around getting your way. The big gun is heaven. Luscious pork chop bushes blooming right outside your doorway. In a big gun is heaven. I've heard the thing.
Well, that's it. Unintentionally, racist song. But, it was a different time.
I love that I'm trying to find this Superman episode, and I'm not even looking. I just automatically got recommended the racist cartoon compilation.
Oh, you got one?
Oh, not yet. I can't. Well, I mean, do you guys? I don't know. You don't think we'll get hit if I pull this up? 'Cause it's bad.
I found it. Naturally, it was easy to find if I had just been thinking about it. White Supremacy Wednesday. We've got Imperial Wizard Mark, Grand Cyclops Justin, Grand Defend My Sister's Honor Dragon Cletus.
Nice.
And Grand Eshaquir Clyde. And for those who aren't familiar with the terms, the Eshaquir is basically like the treasurer for your KKK chapter.
Mm.
If you weren't aware.
It's a very prestigious position.
Yeah.
Must have been cold that day in my shed. Or actually, it's the wife's shed.
We're all bundled up.
Yeah, I've got to use to record out there.
Never turned on the heat.
What, Sean? Oh, we can hear you. You're too far away.
You literally never turned on the heat.
Still don't. The only reason you
Your
have
dad right there.
Put on a hoodie.
Right.
Actually, to be fair, I'm wearing shorts, so it doesn't really help.
Are you one of those people who wears shorts in the winter?
Yes.
Like you wear like a jacket with shorts?
No, I don't wear a jacket with shorts. I just wear a hoodie because typically I'm just wearing a tank top underneath.
Damn.
Hoodie's more comfortable.
You just run hot, or is it just because you're
really hot?
Okay.
Because I'm fat.
Yeah, okay. You said it good. Yeah.
What do you mean I can't take off my sweater? I'm hot.
I'm hot. Mr. Rogers, drunk. Oh fuck.
We really went with a theme for this show. We used to put out good content. What happened?
We've gotten too comfortable and complacent in our fame.
Yes.
Gotta get back to our roots.
Get back on the grind.
Scrape it at the bottom before we're on top. Oh shit. I was even say tonight, she asked me, she's like, what are you guys talking about tonight? Nothing. I don't know. Christmas,
apparently.
Yeah. Hey, we did get in a little bit of racist videos. We got some celebrities who have killed people. That's good. That's good content.
Yeah.
What the hell? I must have missed this show. I'm scrolling through.
It's all right. No farming. We're good.
Is McCarthyism
Minimal.
right for your family?
Oh, yeah. I think I named that one.
I wasn't on that one. I'm looking at it and I'm not there. So just kind of quickly scrolling through it. I'm not there. So yeah.
I think you had named it something to do with McCarthyism, and I changed it to "Is McCarthyism right for your family?" That sounds like something I'd do. But yeah, I think you weren't there that day, so I wouldn't have set it up.
We did just me and you did a show one morning. I can't remember what we talked about, but I remember it being fun, and then we got suspended for a week.
Oh, okay, then it was
I never
fun.
remember anything we talk about. Stephanie's like, why do you watch all of your shows? I'm like, because I don't know what we said. I don't know what.
I
Like, I
remember
don't
a
know what
joke and I
happened.
laughed and I want to tell somebody else, so I
Right,
got to rewatch it.
this was like a solid hour of me completely blacking out and not having any idea what just happened. And like, my kids tell me that I say all kinds of offensive shit, and I have no idea because I don't hear it. And like, it comes out of my mouth. It doesn't register in my brain.
Sometimes I'm legitimately concerned about things I might have said on night shows that I don't remember. Especially the one where we did like the jokes. We tried to do the really horrible jokes, you know, and all your kids kept showing up on here.
Yeah.
And I didn't care and I kept doing the jokes.
No, I was.
For the times that Johnny's on and he just berates Sean the entire time.
Why aren't you in a field getting drunk?
Yeah.
But we don't go in a field. We just go do a bonfire.
Well, you do, you know, in a field or whatever. Doesn't have to be in a field. It could be in the woods.
Yeah.
It's a generalization here. You don't have to beat me up. You know what I'm
Some
saying?
person's disabled grandparents like backyard, and it's just
perfect. They can't come out and yell at you.
exactly.
Oh, there
or when they do, they've got like a really loud, like one of those electric wheelchairs because they're like super fat and you can hear it creaking.
So they can't sneak up on you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Put the hustlers
That's kind
away.
of parties. All right, we just throw everything else in there.
Did you guys have like a pair, like a friend whose parents were the come drink at my house because I'd rather you drink here than drink and drive kind of person?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
It wasn't that his mom was the come drink at my house. It was that his mom always stayed with her boyfriend, and so the house was empty. So that was just the party house, and they didn't have a phone. Like they didn't have a landline, so there was no way for our parents to like call us and find out if we were actually there or what we were doing. So it was like, yeah, we're staying tonight at Tim's house, and then like, yeah, we were not at Tim's house. We go to like a nightclub or a strip club or somewhere else, and then like we'd show back up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, just long enough to sleep, and then
See, I can't do that. Mom tracks me.
yeah, see, cell phones.
Yeah, it was more of
I could GPS your boy for you.
We would go through the cornfield down to the river and have our field party there. Nobody.
Whoa, that was a crotch grab.
Yeah, Captain Marvel just killed a guy.
Nice.
But yeah, we would have these field parties on my friend's farm, and we would run like at least 100 feet of extension cable to a generator off in the distance, so we could have music and play it off of there, but it would be far enough away so we didn't just hear the generator running.
Nice.
Those are good times.
Oh man,
We had
you don't realize it back then.
One of our
Also, I could
guys,
have doing much better things with my time, but you know, I've got cool stories.
yeah,
I don't remember the show.
yeah. For example, we had this guy that played on our baseball team, and he was really good, but he was just dumb as a fucking box of rocks. And he passed out drunk one night underneath somebody's truck. And thank God it rained because it made the ground soft enough. So when they backed over his head, it just pushed his head down into the mud and didn't kill him. And like I said before, he's pretty dumb. So like even if you had brain damage from that, you would not have known it.
The front wheel or the back wheel of the truck?
Back.
Okay, thank God. That's the lighter
Yeah.
side usually.
Yeah.
Lucky
Oh
bastard.
man. I'm trying to think about injuries. We didn't have too many injuries partying, but you know we had a good space.
One guy set himself on fire when we were having a bonfire. Like he was throwing diesel onto the fire, and some of it splashed.
Oh, I did
back
that
on him.
once.
But it just once the diesel burned off of him, and you know all of his hair was gone. That was it. Like it didn't like burn him.
Yeah, I just lost my hair. Yeah, my hair.
We had our one of our friend's cousins, like he was the older cousin that could buy us alcohol when we were underage. So
nice.
By default, he got invited to our parties. But he was the guy that would like put Everclear on his hand and set it on fire as his party trick, and then wonder why none of the chicks wanted to hook up with him.
I know you'd think they'd be all over that.
Yeah.
I did my senior year. I showed up to the after prom party, and no, it was my junior year. I showed up to the after prom party, and one of my buddies is just like running around without a shirt on. I'm like, Corey, where's your shirt? He's like, I had to use it. I'm like, oh God. Like, he had to go get in the woods and sacrifice his shirt. So He's just out there shirtless. I'm like, see, this is why I have layers. You know, I've got a beater and a t-shirt, you know, socks, underwear. Like, there are options. Like before I'm getting down to like me running around shirtless out in the middle of the woods, there's some other clothes that are gonna go. Like,
I don't know, the worst thing that's happened at a bonfire so far is a buddy like took a cup of gasoline, put it in his mouth, and spit it on fire and lit his face on it.
You dumbass.
yeah, that's how you lose all of your facial hair.
And then later, like
You're
a couple
lucky.
hours later, he definitely had some things, and then like
Tummy
smashed his
aches?
face through. No.
Oh.
He smashed his head through our buddy's like side view mirror on his truck. And then
That's
none
not
of,
gonna
us
get
knew
a
about
party.
it. None of us knew about it until like the
Yeah.
next day. No, because he didn't remember it at all. We woke up, he had a big old goose egg on his forehead, and we got a video from our friend. He goes, what happened to my mirror? And it was just destroyed. It was like hanging.
I know I've told the story about my buddy Jake, who he got blown up in a Humvee in Iraq, and the first thing he asked the doctors when he came to was, "Is my dick all right?"
Now the first question. My dick's still there.
Priorities, man.
So we all heard this story, and then when I'm in college, I lived with a couple football players initially, and we had a fourth guy that moved into, like, it was 4 rooms and then a big common area in the apartment. And this fourth guy moved in. He was a little tiny Asian dude named Paul, and so like one day I'm hanging out at the apartment and I hear a knock on the door, and so I go answer the door, and it's Jake, and I'm like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" He goes, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "Well, I live here." He's like, I was in the army with Paul." He's like, "We were in Iraq together." He's like, we were gonna go get lunch or something. I was like, "Oh, okay." So anyway, so later on, I asked Paul. I was like, "So like you and Jake were like in the military together?" I was like how, when and where did y'all serve together? I was like, because like Jake got blown up in a Humvee in an accident, and Paul was like, "I was in the Humvee with him." He said we were both in it together. We were in the hospital together. I was like, "Oh shit, okay." So we've all heard the story about like when Jake woke up, the first thing he asked the doctor was, "Is my dick all right?" And Paul goes, "It was the craziest shit ever. I'm in the other bed across the room from him, and he comes to, and the doctor and all these nurses rush in, and they're trying to check him out and stuff. And he just grabs the doctor by the sleeve and he goes, Doc, is my dick all right?" And the doctor's like, yeah, that's the least of our concerns. And he just laid back down and he's like, "That's all that mattered." He didn't even give a shit anymore. He was fine.
Go to work. Yeah.
So anyway, there one night, so Jake was a bit eccentric. And let's see, on prom, he didn't actually go to prom. He rented a tuxedo, and his parents like took pictures of him and stuff, and in his tuxedo. And then he told him he was going to go pick up his date and go to prom. And his parents like did other stuff. They didn't actually like show up for school functions or anything, so it didn't matter. He like drives 3 miles down the road, pulls over on the side of the road, changes into his party stuff, and goes straight to the after party. He never even showed up for prom at all. And then one night he had told him he was going down to Night City, which was the big like club. They would do a fight night, and he told him he was going to fight night. Well, he wasn't going to fight night. He was just going to come hang out and drink with us. But at the end of the night, he's like, "Oh fuck, man! I told my parents I was going to fight night, and I don't have it. Like, I don't look like I was fighting. Like, somebody's got to rough me up." Well, a couple months before that, our buddy John and some chick that was at the party had told Jake, who was incredibly intoxicated, "Hey, we're going to take your truck and go to town and get some cigarettes." Apparently, Jake did not hear them or didn't acknowledge that was happening, or just in a drunken stupor thought somebody was stealing his truck. So anyway, they're driving off, and he sees his truck leaving, and he just takes off running after it. About 30 minutes later, his truck comes pulling back up with him driving, and I can't remember the girl's name. She just looks bewildered. She's like, went through some shit. And the guy who had left in the truck, about 15, 20 minutes later, he comes walking up, like mouth and nose bleeding. He goes, "We went to town and got cigarettes, and on our way back, we see Jake like running down the side of the road. So I stopped and rolled down the window to see what he was doing, like what was up. And he punched me through the window and pulled me out and dumped me on the side of the road, and then got in his truck and drove back here." So anyway, we all remember that happening. So Jake goes to tells his folks he went to fight night, that he didn't go to fight night. And he's like, somebody's got to rough me up. Like somebody's going to hit me. And we're all looking at each other like, who's going to fucking hit him? Because as soon as you hit him, now he's going to go in like kill you mode because he's drunk. So four of us held him while another dude hit him. And he hit him real good. And he went and looked at himself in the rearview mirror. So he's like, not good enough. You got to do it again. So that was lots of fun. It's a wonder, like, how did we survive half the shit we did?
Dude, I've like, I've got like friends, or had friends, who didn't, but they're like big dumbasses, or we get like arrested all the time or some shit, you know what I mean? And I don't know, man. I think there's an extra level of like losing control that some people definitely have, and they get a lot more consequences, But I don't know, man. It's just, I think a lot of it's just dumb young luck, dude. You gotta.
Also, we didn't have like
square
camera phones everywhere when we were growing up to document all of our stuff that we did.
Thank God, dude.
Sucks to be you, Sean.
Dude, I just even think like, oh man, like.
Don't worry, I got videos of that fire thing happening.
Social shit in like middle school and high school was like, like stupid and gay and like hard enough, like without social media. You know what I mean? Like I'm so glad like that we didn't have that shit when I was in high school because I didn't enjoy high school, and I'm not like, oh, I was bullied and shit. It wasn't that. It's just I fucking hate school. I just hated fucking being there. But yeah, man. Oh fuck that. From like the social aspect, that would have been so much worse.
Who was it that said cyberbullying? How the fuck is cyberbullying real? Just turn off the computer.
That wasn't Bill Burr, was it?
I don't remember.
Back when he was funny.
Oh yeah, you were telling me he sucks now, or he's something. That's like, I really liked F is for Family though, the show.
Yeah, that's funny.
Of the neighbor Vic or whatever, everything just so awesome for him. He's gonna rub it in his face. He's got the huge dick. He's always got all the fucking bitches doing blow and making tons of money. He's like, yeah, they told me to take a sabbatical and they gave me a bunch of money. So I went to Vegas to get rid of some of it. And wouldn't you know, I just kept winning. And then my lady of the evening, when we got done, she paid me. And Phil Spector gave him a gun, which brings us back to our celebrities who have killed someone segment. Here, have this gun.
Is Mark still watching?
I don't know. It looks like maybe nobody's watching now. We've become that unentertaining.
Damn it. We need Mark to come back because somebody sent this in the fantasy football group chat, and it's perfect for Mark. I'm gonna bump you out right quick, Dag.
Yeah, all good. Go for it. Looks like we're to the end of the good celebrities anyhow.
Oh, now we're just getting into the like B-listers, C-listers.
People I've never heard of.
These Ohio State fans, they got a psychotic obsession with Michigan, and they need to go get therapy or something to try to get it fixed because they have a chance to win the national championship, and here you are, nobody's excited about their opportunity to play because they, lost to Michigan, which was a tough game, and they lost.
Nick Saban's just like, Michigan? Who the fuck is Michigan? You go win a championship. Don't worry about Michigan.
And so this is what he did.
Just told her husband to get black wrapping paper.
Was it sports stuff?
Kool-Aid box?
Kool-Aid? No.
And at first I didn't understand. But then I did, and I meant the color black wrapping paper.
You didn't specify what you're talking about.
It's white and black aesthetic this year.
That's what you got.
Don't you know it's a theme?
I asked Jeans to wrap my.
It was funny. You couldn't see it, but like when it started panning, that was Dodge Challenger Hellcat wrapping paper.
Nice. Very nice.
Amazing.
Dude, what is I I've been getting on Instagram more lately than I like because I usually don't use it that often, as you guys now know, because I freaking DM you stuff all the time now.
I'd say, did Dag just start sending you stuff on Instagram, and you're like, oh, maybe I should start watching?
Yeah, I'm returning the favor as well. Dude,
I only check in every several days, so don't be offended if it takes me a while to get back to you.
Oh yeah, same here. Same with Facebook when you send me stuff there. But I remember Instagram used to be kind of lame and was like really heavily censored. But man, there's some funny stuff on there now.
Yeah. I like Instagram. The videos are good. Yeah, I got back on Instagram a couple years ago because when I started doing the lock picking stuff, a lot of the guys who I followed for that, they're pretty much only on Instagram. And I guess it makes sense if their content is video and photos, you know what I mean? That would be the platform. But it did seem odd to me because it's usually like a Twitter thing or like Facebook thing for like content creators, like in the podcasting space. But then I was like, oh man, but all these guys are on Instagram. But again, it kind of makes sense with the video platform because they do a lot of videos. Anyhow, but yeah, man, I got back into it and I was like, oh, I actually kind of like Instagram, especially because it was, not a lot of political bullshit. I didn't follow like my Facebook, I got a lot of political bullshit and this and that. And Twitter is all political bullshit, right? But for like Instagram, I like deliberately did not follow, political shit. And then it's just, oh, it's funny videos of dogs and
yeah, it's like I can just sit there and swipe through the reels forever.
Yeah, dude, getting that. Oh shit.
Dude got sent to Mars.
Dude. Dude. I mean, do they like live?
I don't know.
Insane.
It's
like,
going.
They can't be physically real. Holy shit. Like, I keep being like, when's he going to come down? When's he going to come down? And then he was in the back.
That's got to be edited.
Dude, when you can like count like a basketball ref on an inbound pass, that dude got air.
Dude, this was my favorite one from today, which I don't know if I sent to any of y'all. This is the show now. Look at this shit.
This is the show now. I was just sharing it.
Holy cow.
Dog. Just hold on to that bear's tail.
That's a good boy.
Hell yeah. Dude, I love hot dogs, man. So there goes. Oh, he's okay.
Poor dog.
My first instinct is like, why isn't the owner doing anything? Then I'm like, what the fuck are you gonna do?
It's a bear.
Right? You're gonna chase.
You're gonna yell at the dog to let go. Like I guess just go along for the ride at this point. And, like when I had a Catahoula, and I got him out of happenstance and then started learning about the breed and watching Catahoula videos. And they're hunting dogs that they used to hunt hogs with, and they're baying dogs. So their job is to find the hogs, corner them, and bark at them, and corner them so you can come shoot them. But like, dude, like the shit they sell, like you buy Kevlar vests for those dogs and Kevlar collars, and staple guns to staple them up when they get gored by the fucking hog, and on some of the pages of people who have these, and one second, the pages of people who have these and hunt with them, they're like, yeah, dude, my dog, he does it, and he gets a big gash, and I staple him up, and he can't wait to get right back out there the next minute and keep chasing hogs. It's fucking crazy, dude. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Have you seen the spiked collars they have for dogs that to protect them from coyote and wolf attacks?
The spike collars, and they got the whole vests too that look like a freaking push broom.
But the collars look like some sort of like medieval torture device. It's pretty gnarly.
Dope. Mostly for small dogs, I'd imagine. Well, I don't know. You guys might have bigger coyotes in other places.
I think it's more of a wolf thing.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wolves.
Makes your dog look totally metal, though.
Yeah. I started using a prong collar for the first time on the new puppy. The training program I've been doing. I talk about it, and I guess I never realized like how they work, and they always seemed like, oh, like are they cruel? Like they poke into them. It's like, no, they don't poke them; they pinch them. So it's like a nip.
We so I told you my sister-in-law back in the day they had a Chihuahua, and it was too much responsibility, so they got rid of it, and then like 6 months later they got a Husky.
It's like 10 times worse.
Yeah, well. They go, and we actually happen to be watching that dog now because every time they go out of town, we have to dog sit, and they forgot to bring the prong collar this time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it sucks without it. It's a big. If I take her out without the prong collar, she don't listen to me half as well.
Yeah.
You know, for sure.
Imagine like half wolf.
Violence
Like,
in the answer is asking the wrong question.
Well,
that-
that's conditioning. But
the
yes.
dog also.
The idea is you do it for a year when they're a puppy, and then hopefully they do it out of the collar. But you know,
Right. See, conditioning with violence.
You know, last year the damn dog got
it's a correction. It's not a beating. It's not violence. It's a motherly nip.
It's correction.
Yeah, Sean, you hear that? It's correction. It's not violence.
Correction. Look, and this is what I look. There's something even when it comes to, so like, you know, you guys know how I feel about this shit, but like even like with like, you know, kids, there's a difference between a. Oh, let me get the camera. Boop on the back of the head. Hey, we're in a parking lot. Get your eyes out of the fucking phone. You know what I mean? And you know, taking a belt to them. Those are two very different things. But I'm not opposed to the pop in the back of the head, get their fucking attention. My grandfather had what we called the thump, and it was kind of like when you hit a dip can with your thumb. I still don't know how he did it, but that shit, hurt like a motherfucker. But didn't leave a mark. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he gets you good with one of them.
I just wait till Sean's not looking and punch him right in his tit. Bam.
I punch you back.
punch.
What do you mean?
You call that a punch, laddie? You hit like a woman.
That's the man to tell you how to hit a woman too.
Do it with an open hand, you know.
We played that. And we
Oh,
played the Bishop
fucking love
Brown
that guy.
clip too about him doing his, because his move was he'd smack the other football player's helmet to stun him for a second, I guess. And they were asking him about it at an interview, and he's like, "Yeah, you know, I've just learned through experience when you go upside the head of a man or a woman, it kind of, you know, you get about a half a second where they're confused, and then you know you can get through there." I'm like, you could have just left that out, dude. You could have said person even. You know what I mean? And then it's a, you know, it's a scientifically correct statement.
That shit with the football helmet is when we used to do our walkthrough practices on Thursdays, which is the day before a game, so we would just be walking through not wearing pads, but we'd have our helmets on, and the thing that everybody liked to do would be like find rocks and just plink somebody in the fucking back of the helmet, and it just creates this loud echo. Oh man, I used to hate that shit.
Resonates.
That and the bag tag too. Someone goes by, just hits you on the tip
Of the penis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We were
play that. Don't touch my dick.
We were in Louisville visiting family for Thanksgiving one year, and my brother and I had gotten up there early, and he tagged me as soon as we got there. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you back." It's like before the end of the weekend, I'm gonna get you back, and you're not gonna see it coming, and it's gonna hurt. And so the whole weekend, like
He's in fear.
every time I walk by him, he's like covering up, like he just lived in terror the whole weekend. There's no way there's no way he enjoyed there's no way he enjoyed the weekend. And then right before we get ready to leave, he's going like he puts his arms out and he goes to give my aunt a hug, and I came up and got him, tagged him real quick and put him on the ground. He's like, "I told you, motherfucker."
Did you guys ever watch How I Met Your Mother?
I've seen a couple episodes.
Do you remember how they used to like trade slaps around?
No.
Yeah, I've seen clips
Like
of
that,
it.
they like slaps giving or whatever. But
I like that
whenever
red
somebody
nose
would
in
lose a
your
bet,
eye.
they could win more slaps, or you know, trade them to other people. And Barney's character, they used to just like they would hold it over him. And the cool thing about the show is like over the course of all the seasons, they jumped around timeline, but they would always have like recurring bits from like previous seasons. So like over the course of a few seasons, like they would just be standing there, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, somebody would just slap the shit out of Neil Patrick Harris.
Watch the Christmas Harold and Kumar this year. It's got some good Neil Patrick Harris, basically sexually assaulting women. It's fucking hilarious, dude. He's so good in those movies. He's like, "No, I just pretend to be gay because it gets all the gash." He's like, "Clay Aiken, that guy gets mad gash."
I'll just play a little bit of this because I don't want to get us popped.
And that is why there will be.
This is transformative content.
Oh my God! This is the best Thanksgiving ever!
Being my immediate friend group when we were teenagers, we had a thing that we do. That movie The Hunted had come out, which wasn't a great movie, but we liked to pretend like we were like super like, you know, the
With the knife fighting movie?
guy. Yeah. And
Tommy
so
Lee
our thing
Jones
was,
and
yes, Benicio del Toro was to sneak up on him, like get him, you know, you come up from behind him and you get him with the thumb knife. You know, if you get him across the throat with the thumb knife, from behind, sneak up on him. We did a lot of that, and one day I was 18, too old to be playing around like that, and I was an electrician or an electrician's assistant, and I've been drilling holes with a paddle bit through 2x4s, and not thinking about it, go up to my boss, and I do that to him with my drill with the paddle bit, just playing around. Gotcha. And I accidentally touched him with the paddle bit on his neck and heard it sizzle because I've been fucking hole. You know, I didn't even think about how hot it was. I heard it sizzle from the sweat on his neck, and he's like, "Dude, what the fuck? Use your fucking head, you piece of shit." I'm like, "Dude, I felt like such a fucking idiot." Oh my god, I'm dicking around. Oh fuck. Embarrassment is definitely something that is deeply ingrained in us for a reason. That will teach you a lesson. Here's a lesson for you, Spawn and Justin. I was thinking about this the other day. So there's something that when you're driving, you should always do if you didn't know this, and that's when you switch lanes, you should look over your shoulder just to make sure that there's nobody in that lane. Even when you're, you monitor your mirrors, all the cars around you, you always check. Okay.
I already sideswiped a semi.
Yep. Oh man, maybe that has something to do with why I'm directing this at you. But I was thinking about that incident because I always look, and I remember there was one time, and I don't remember much from my life. My memory's pretty spotty, but I remember this incident. I remember where I was going. I remember where I was coming from. I remember who I was with. I remember everything about it because it's so fucking embarrassing. The one time ever that I decided, you know what? I know what cars are around me. I'm not going to check over my shoulder. I almost merged into some other dude. And I was driving my Subaru at the time, and he had some Eclipse, some little race car. He basically could have been me, in the other car, and totally my fault. As soon as I saw him, he honked at me. I went over, dude, my bad. And just the look those dudes gave me as they went up to me, what the fuck, fucking, dumbass, I'm like, oh. Since then, definitely never again. But the one time I didn't look, there was a fucking car.
Yeah. My buddy had an Eclipse, and he got pinned between a 18-wheeler on the interstate going 70. And
I about got one the other day. Sean, were you in the one? It was the small black car that was in my blind spot, and I thought I'd gotten I went past them. I thought I had gone far enough to be around them, and I guess they sped up after I went past and got up in my blind spot, and so I just went to change lanes no, because I didn't see anything in my rear view mirror because they were right here. And yeah,
Pretty sure that was Katie while I was at work.
Okay, it might have been. I knew one of you was in the truck with me. I guess they sped up. People in fucking Indiana are bad about that. You pass them, and then as soon as you pass them, they try to come back up on you.
Yeah,
dude, you were. What the fuck is wrong? They all think it's
there's crazy psychology and shit with driving, because most people aren't as defensive or pay attention. Let's say they don't pay attention as much as us, right? But there's so much that just what other traffic does subconsciously controls what other. So if the person in front of you, you might speed up with them just cause, or the big thing with people hitting cops when they're pulling somebody over on the side of the road is people just follow the fucking taillights. But yeah, dude, it's people just. You can predict what people are going to do, subconsciously, passing somebody like that. Or whenever, if I'm in the, on the interstate, if I'm in the left lane and I'm coming up, I assume that person in the right lane is going to not see me and merge, so the whole time I'm coming up on them, I'm watching, you know what I mean? I'm waiting for them to fucking do it, especially when traffic's packed and people drive like fucking assholes.
Sean was laughing about when you said follow the taillights, because I would do this on the way to and from taking them to school and bringing them home. During when they had all the construction going on, because there's the lines on the road, and then they have the other lines that you're supposed to follow, but the construction's over in the median. It's not actually on the road, so I just stay on the regular lane, even though they have the stuck down lines to have you go over on the shoulder, and so you'll watch, and people in front of me will go over and follow the lines on the shoulder, but everybody behind me will stay right behind me in the regular lane. They won't go over.
He made it an active social experiment to see if they would do it. He made it aware.
Yep. Yeah, man.
It did. It happened.
Watch this. The people behind me are going to stay right behind me. They're not going to follow the lines and get over on the shoulder. And sure enough, almost every time, they would stay right behind me and not get over and not follow the lines and get over on the shoulder.
And if you were in front of me and like got, stayed wherever you were driving, and I had gone like where I was supposed to, like in the lane, like I would feel so weird the whole time. I'd be like, should I get behind him? I feel like I should get behind him. Like it just, it's like almost that basic human instinct to like sort of fall in line. You know what I mean? Like he must be doing it for a reason. He's in front. He's got a bigger truck than me. Maybe I should just get behind him.
And then you get to find out who the real sociopaths are, because they're the ones that are conducting the experiments and not following the lines.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's like fucking like people who tailgate, it's like, dude, it's like, like you could just, we're on this road for like the next 40 miles. It's like, just get your fucking space and chill or pass me, like that fucking drives me nuts. Like just get our fucking cushion. Like you're not, pass me. That's cool. I'll even, slide over a little bit, make it easier for you, but like, yeah, dude, we're not turning. Just, I don't know. Sorry. It's enough old man bitching about traffic.
Here, pull this up.
We've got a lot of traffic here.
It's when you wreck your Mustang and you don't have insurance to cover the repairs.
Oh shit!
What the fuck?
Oh! Oh! Oh, that poor creature!
Oh God!
Any of you guys ride horses?
Yeah, I do.
You
I
do,
used
or like
to.
you used to?
I used to do both motorcycles and horses.
Yeah, it's been shit more than a decade now.
I've ridden a horse like a few times, but I never really rode horses or whatever. I didn't ride it enough to really get the practice, but my issue the few times I did was not getting the rhythm right, for the bouncing. But my sister did all that.
You do that enough times, and then you wouldn't have even needed a vasectomy. None of it would have worked anyway.
It broke my hymen and killed all my sperm.
We had a guy that lived right down the road that he had it was back down an old gravel road in this old farmhouse that he was remodeling. And so I'd go over and help him work on the house, and he had 2 horses. And so we'd take the horses out and ride them around and stuff. And so I rode quite a bit when I was in high school and college, and haven't done it any at all. And shit, I don't know.
Yeah, my dad's side of the family, my uncle's a leather worker, so he works on like saddles and stuff, shoes horses and stuff. He used to fix my baseball glove a lot. And then they also used to plow. They had one of those big workhorses, the Belgians. They had those too that they would use to like as beasts of burden. Those things are fucking cool, dude. They're so huge.
All right, we got anything
my
else?
Uncle Jesse.
We got anything else for tonight?
I got nothing.
Yeah, I think we had a good night. We talked about trilogies and dumb shit and reminisced a bit. Mark and Lyle joined us in the chat. Sean got to come on and tell about his friend breaking a rearview mirror on a truck.
Spitting gasoline into a fire.
We can't hear you. You're too close to your mic.
And spitting gasoline into a fire.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, the rest of it sounds fun, but that's just
stupid.
Oh yeah, he's a retard, huh? Like, good friend, absolute idiot.
Wait, he's what now?
Good friend, but he's an absolute idiot.
He sounds retarded to me.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.